extremely excited that Quan stepped up and made a play there late in the game when we needed it.
Have you always kind of, as a transfer, have you envisioned what that kind of first win was going to be like? Like, how did it compare to maybe what you thought going into it?
It was everything I expected, The guys were fired up. We had a lot of fun in that game, especially in the end, to win the way that we did. Like, that's the kind of moments that you dream of as a kid, when you're 6, 7 years old, talking with your buddies, throwing the ball around the backyard. That's exactly what you talk about, so it felt good to get the W.
Can you address the confidence level of this team moving into this week a little bit?
Oh, yes, sir. I think our confidence level has been steadily increasing since the beginning of the season, After the App State game, obviously it didn't turn out the way that we liked. Coming into the South Carolina game, guys were laser focused, determined to get the W, We worked extremely hard, fell short, but guys were not deterred by that, Going into the next week, we were focused on Marshall. We weren't living in the past with the South Carolina game. Like, all of our focus was on Marshall and what we were going to do to win that game. And so for us to come out and win that game was extremely big, extremely important for us moving forward. And now it's on to the next.
What's it going to be like when you guys get back at home? Because obviously the home crowd, a lot of those guys, most of the people didn't get a chance to go to Huntington, but they all watched, even on Facebook. But still,
yes,
they'll be fired up on Saturday, won't they?
Oh, yes, sir. We're extremely excited to be back at home in front of our own fan base. There's nothing like Pirate Nation, The guys showed up. Everyone came out and supported us fully versus South Carolina, so we expect nothing less versus Charleston Southern.
How did the offense and defense feed off each other in that fourth quarter with you guys taking the ball away and then scoring touchdowns?
Oh, yeah. We definitely fed off of each other. I know whenever the offense was on the field, guys were standing up. There wasn't a whole lot of guys sitting down, resting. Like, everyone's extremely into the game. Everyone's extremely involved. When the offense was coming off the field, we were, shaking hands, dapping them up. Good job, great job. We're about to get you the ball back. We're going to win this game. Like, there was zero doubt on our sideline the entire game.
You guys are one of the top teams in the country right now in takeaways. Coach Harrell talked about how important that is, your defense. Do you see that? That's a focus for you guys?
Oh, yes, sir, for sure. Coach Harrell harps on that daily. That's something that we focus on as a unit. In the safeties room, that's something we focus on as a defense. And so it shows up in practice and it shows up in the games. So that's why we practice the way we practice.
Regardless of the points this week, do you guys feel like you kind of played at the level you played at against South Carolina, even though they got more points against you this time?
Yes, sir. I still feel like we came out with the same intensity. I feel like they made a few plays here and there, and a couple of them on us. A couple of them were just, I guess, what you would call unlucky plays, where ball gets tipped, falls into another receiver's hands, right in stride, things like that. But we overcame that adversity, and we just kept playing ball the way that we know how.
After week one, Coach Harrell said you guys were not doing a good job getting downhill and making tackles. How have you guys improved on that these past 2 weeks?
We've focused a lot on our trigger. So in the beginning of the play, we get our read steps and everything like that. And whenever our key tells us to go, we go full speed. And that's something that we've done a good job of. Might have slacked off a little bit this past week at times. And that's going to be something we focus on this week as we get ready for Charleston Southern.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hi, this is Jay Sunhalter, ESPN3 analyst and former Pirate football tight end, and you're listening to the Sports Objective Podcast, the unofficial podcast of the Pirates.